Online business, we have seen it has come out only in last 10 to 15 years, and the kind of growth which we are seeing has come only in last 5 to 10 years. But people are doing business from time immemorial. Okay, they are doing business since your ADs and BCs kind of things and all. But at that point of time, the business was also being recognized by the brand names, not by the entrepreneur. Now, in the old world, which is your brick and mortar model, correct? How do you own and how do you protect your trademark? The process was very simple. You go to the office of the trademark, you make an application, you decide whether you want to only protect it in India. If you want to protect outside India, then either you can make an application in India, make it international application, or go to the US or maybe UK, Europe, Australia, and make the individual application. Then the issue there was that you had a trademark office which used to scrutinize, which as of now also scrutinize whether your trademark is a generic word, like a company which intends to sell wheat flour, cannot, let's say, register a trademark with the word atta, because atta is a generic name or a descriptive name of that particular goods. So they had some kind of filtering exercise. Now you cannot go and file for trademark by the word, let's say, Reliance, or let's say by the word Infosys, because they know that these are the names which are already being used by the established businesses. And then you have a code protected kind of ownership. Let us say the word Godrej. Now Godrej was not filed as a trademark when they started business, but by the mere usage, it became so synonymous to a particular business that it was granted a trademark your status by courts. In the online world, the business is primarily, driven by domain names. Now, if you all know, domain name are basically top-level domain name, which is on the extreme right-hand side. And we started with something generic like .com, .org, .edu, .gov, which started with the start of internet. Then we went to country-specific, like .in, .pk, .com, .au, .com, .sg. AU stands for Australia, SG stands for Singapore, IN stands for India, PK stands for Pakistan. Then we came to business specific, like .biz, .tv. We have also migrated to have .xxx. If anyone wants to focus only on the porn, then they have .xxx, which is to that industry. .mobi. And now recently, the internet, domain names have been opened to a generic one, like .ebay, .google, .infosys, .reliance. So which means that you can have your own trademark as a top-level domain name. And then we have second-level domain name, which is a free-float text, which is basically first come, first serve. The important part here is that there's no pre-filtering. Now, let's take example that you want to start a new business by the name of, let's say, Ashish. Now, if I have to start my online retail by the name of Ashish, and I aspire to be a globally leading retailer like an eBay, Amazon, or whoever you name it, right? I aspire to be that. Now, I want that my name should be unique to myself and it should not be taken by anyone else. What do I need to do? Do I need to really register ashish.com, ashish.org, or say ashish.biz, ashish.ashish, A, B, C, whatever, okay? So those are the challenges which you have in the online world, that to what extent you want to own or protect your domain name. And I'll come to it later. Now, we started with domain name. And in these days, it is not only your www where you do the business. You also do the business through short codes. Now, if you see short code, like, let's say 7827. So which is synonymous to the word star. Now, Star TV, where I was working before Reliance, we had got the trademark on the word 7827. And then you also have 1-800 extension, which are also synonymous to your trademark or your trade name. Now, these are the things which are not completely open to the world. We do have some filters under TRAI guidelines, under Telegraph Act, okay, which says that whoever wants to apply for these words and all, if it is very much related to someone else's trademark and all, you will not get unless, you have a very convincing case to go to the operators. Now, the most important thing is we are talking about social media account. Now, if Ashish has to have multiple domain name, Ashish will also want to have short code, Ashish will also want to have 1-800. Now, Ashish will also want to open account on Facebook, Ashish wants to open account on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Dailymotion, on all your social media site, because most of the consumer come to social media site to connect with their brands or with each other. I don't want anyone to use my name to really put full stop to my business. Now, in these things also, you have some sort of filtration. Most of the mature social media sites like your Facebook and all, they do have a list of most of the brand name which they will not allow you to use them as your account, correct? Same is the case with the e-commerce account. Let's take the case of eBay. Now, eBay, anyone can go and open the account as a seller. And now, you can't go and open the account as a Nike or as a Reebok or as a Tag Heuer, okay? Because they have the policies, they have a pre-list of all the trademark which they block to give you. Now, going to a new age thing where people have started to do business are the mobile apps. Now, Ashish also need to ensure that Ashish name is being protected when anyone has to, let's say, own an app on an iOS platform or Android platform or Symbian platform. So the life in the online world to protect your trademark or your goodwill is extremely cumbersome. It's not as straightforward, which was in the old business that you just go and file one particular application. Now, you are starting a business, okay? Ashish wants to start a business from tomorrow. Now, what are the parameters which I should think that how do I really, thinking that I want to become, let's say, as big as eBay, Amazon, what should I do right now, correct? Now, if you see that the IP protocol is being migrated from a version 4 to version 6, which means that almost 300 times of the traffic of internet domain name can be accommodated, right? It would be a huge jungle, and you need to secure your presence there. Do I act right now, or do I act after some point of time? Internet is becoming a default technology for everything. I said after the increased speed of the bandwidth, I'm sure people will use internet for your communication, internet for e-commerce, trade, as well as entertainment. So you need to plan now to ensure that your brand on internet, all aspects, is being owned as well as protected. Now, it's actually for an entrepreneur, because I actually meet so many entrepreneurs. They come and talk to me. I give them advice on a legal standpoint, broad, So they are always confused that, what should be the right time and stage for them to really start thinking about the legal processes. Should they start thinking that they have conceived the idea? Should they start thinking that they have got the first funding? Should they start thinking the way they actually want to file for IPO? So it's a very, it's a chicken and egg situation for them. And I am unable to give the answer because, I would say, since I am a lawyer, I would say that, you need to, I'm not saying that you invest huge on day one, but at each stage of your business, you need to invest some amount which is, let's say, commensurate to your stage of the business into the legal planning and the legal processes. So the question is that either you grab the entire world at the startup phase, which means that you open the account on all .com, .au, blah, 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 and you have all your short codes, 1-800 on day one, which means that you have to do some kind of enhanced investment, or you want to sit back, wait to be successful, and then you spend time not to own the trademark, because the day you start to be successful, the 100 people watching you to be successful, they will ride on your goodwill, and then you end up spending more amount in the legal fees, your time and all, to protect your goodwill. It's not only your entire goodwill, it's also your top line. And it is also valuation. And also when you have to decide your name, please do a simple Googling to ensure that once you gain some kind of sustainability in your business, you're not stuck with an injunction order from a Delhi High Court or a Mumbai High Court that please stop using this brand name because it is, let's say, infringing XYZ. You have done entire investment, one day fall flat, you can't use that name. So how trademark are infringed online? You have cyber squatting, okay, tata.com or maybe reliance.com, where I don't have anything to do with that name, but I just basically grab the territory. Spelling error, tongue twisters, TLD arbitrage in the sense that if you have, let's say, ashish.com, someone will use ashish.in or ashish.biz. Impersonation on a social media e-commerce. Now, you can open an account on a Facebook by the name of ashish.com. Important aspect is that keyword search. Now, let's say, you are Nokia and, you want to make sure that whoever wants to go to a Reebok site or who wants to buy a Reebok, you buy Reebok as a keyword. If I type the word Reebok on natural search, Nokia comes on top of the, your paid search. So these are also infringement of the trademarks. Feedback sites, your consumer voice sites, somebody saying that this product is bullshit, blah, blah, stuff like that. That is also going to tarnish your name. And parallel imports. How to protect, First step is that if you have coined a name, you go to the office of the trademark, file for a trademark. At least you get some chitti in your hand, correct? Then if someone has infringed outside India or you want to do some business outside India, then you file outside India trademark also. The important part here is that under Indian trademark law, domain names have been recognized as trademark. If say, you have a particular trademark, someone has acquired a domain name, you can go to a court and get the order against them. Anti-cyber squatting. If you have a business, if you have offline business, you want to come online, you see someone has taken your domain name, you can always go to, for international domain names, you can go to WIPO for Indian domain name, you can go to NICSI, which is under DOT, to fight for your case, do arbitration, and get your domain name back. Under information technology law and through court orders, you can also block those domain names or website which are trying to spoil image of your company. Like in your Times of India, Hindustan Times in the morning, you have seen that IIPM has taken the order against so many websites because they were showing something bad on the IIPM. So these are the legal tools which you can use. If you feel that your trademark is being misused on Facebook or maybe something which are intermediaries, you can go under IT Act, give them a notice, take down. They under law are obligated to take it down. And if you are seeing that somebody is importing something which is against your trademark, under customs law, you can always go to the custom officer or court to block those imports to come into India. So, we have, some kind of defenses which can be used by the people who are trying to use your mark in some good sense, because they would say that, I have a constitutional freedom of trade, freedom of speech. Why can't I say something bad against one mark because I have suffered something bad? Antitrust defenses under your Competition Act. You have a generic name. Let's say suppose Ashish.com is owned by me and I have a friend whose name is also Ashish. So he can always say that since my name is also Ashish, so I have all the right to buy your Ashish.in. And then, when you go for arbitration to get your name back, then you have to prove that the other person has started to use your name in a bad faith. Then, if say that the entity which is, let's say infringing your name is in US, UK, or Australia, anywhere outside India, then you have to go for international litigation. So I'm saying, these are the entire list of the defenses which the infringer, or let's say the so-called infringer, can take against you, where you want to protect your trademark, but the other person still want to use it. So, his lawyer can also take all these kind of defenses and can actually potentially make your case weaker.